right. So, welcome again, everybody, to the Arc Locus podcast. I am one of your hosts, Anita Pinto Young, and with me today is my troublesome co host.
And beautiful, she forgot to mention, Sherelle Wilson Morrison.
And today we have a special guest, Talita, who's here with us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Talita, and what it is that you do.
First, I would like to thank you for inviting me. So my name is Talita Galo. I'm Brazilian.
Yeah.
I first arrived in London in 2004, so it's a long time ago. And I have a company. It's a money remittance company, API, payment institution. And we mostly send money to Brazil, but for other 50 countries.
Yes.
And I also am a speaker. So I usually speak about finance for women, especially in Brazilian community. But now I can speak for the Jamaica and the other communities. So I think, as an immigrant and as a woman, speak about finance is very important. We see, because we are dealing every day with customers, especially immigrants. And I start to see this kind of thing when a woman get divorced and she doesn't know a lot about the finance. And as an immigrant, people send money abroad, so it's more difficult to understand all the situation that they are in. And sometimes these women, they need to ask for help. Because they don't know too much. So I think it's very important, especially for women, for girls, to be literally finance, well, knowing about how to manage your money and how to protect your money. Because it's not manage, you need to protect your money when you build something,
Wow. Manage and protect your money. So today we're going to be talking about money.
Yes. Ching.
So where did it start for you, Talita? Because you grew up in Brazil, and I mean, what was that transition like for you coming to the UK?
So I grew up in Brazil in a very small city. It's about 9,000 people in my city. But I was always studying in the other city because my parents, they come from very poor family and they want to give us the best education. So I went to private schools, and then when you go to private school, you have more access about the world and everything. So, and then I just started to think about to go to somewhere else. So I finished my degree in physical education.
Okay.
I was 21 years old when I finished. And then I went to Curitiba, is a big city in Paraná. So, and then I started my postgraduate program and I started to work. And then in Brazil, we have many places like in government that you make, you do a test. And then if you're approved, you work there forever.
Okay.
So I started to study for this kind of job. And then I was approved. But when you are approved on this kind of job, it's takes maybe 1 year or 2 years today to really employ you. And then in this meantime, I was waiting for this job. I met my husband. And he used to live in London before. So he went to Brazil to finish his university. And then we met because he was studying with a friend of mine. And then he started to tell me about London. So then we stay 1 year and a half in Brazil. And then we decided to come back just because I was curious.
What
so I
is
just
London?
I just want to come for 1 year or two, just as experience. Because I was waiting for my job was secure.
Yeah.
But then when I arrive here, I say I don't want to go back.
Because you fell in love.
I fell in love because because I came from a very small place. So it's a lot of different words. So that time I saw the opportunities that we can have here as well.
Plus, I met you fell in love with your husband as well, so you weren't going
As
to go
well.
back.
Yeah. But then in that time, so we went back to Brazil. We get proper married.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
And then we came
You
back to
came back.
London. Yeah, as like
Couple.
a couple and to start a life. Because
Yeah.
on that time I was just enjoying, so doing some jobs, traveling, kinds of. So it's completely different when you come to stay
And live.
and live.
I know.
I think the most difficult part for me was like the sharing housing. To live, to live in a bedroom. So
Oh.
because most of, I don't know if Jamaica community, but Brazilians, when they arrive here, they used to share a house. So
Yeah.
you just rent a room in that house.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult,
Yeah,
to
a
live
lot of
with people
Jamaicans.
that you don't know.
Yeah.
Even if you're Brazilian, but you don't
Yes,
know,
yes.
because Brazil is so big.
Yes.
So I'm from South Brazil, maybe from North Brazil. It's completely different culture.
Right.
So this is the most difficult, I think, for all my history. I think was the difficult time
Yeah.
to live with many
Sharing
people,
houses,
sharing
yeah.
house. Yeah, but I didn't share for much longer. It was like 8 months or something.
Okay.
So then we moved for a studio flat,
Okay.
and then after for a proper flat.
Yeah.
So this is how we start.
Okay. So I'm intrigued because when I think about myself, me and figures and maths, we have different relationship. What got you interested into finances?
So my father was an entrepreneur. So I used to help him in his business, and I was doing always like kind of business. I had my computer and the internet since I was very young. And then I started to do like, invites for wedding. I was selling that. I was selling tea towers because I paint the tea towers and then I sell. When I was in university, I was selling chocolates. So I was always this kind of person,
Yeah.
always doing something. And then when I arrived here, I started to do a babysitter, cleaner. And we decided to go back to Brazil to get married and then be back to live here. And then we start to send money to Brazil because we need to pay for the marriage and for the visa and everything. And when I come to this shop to send money,
Yeah.
and I saw how the money should be good if I invest my money, not just send.
Yes.
And then I started to think about I want to work on this place because this place is so good because this makes difference for people. And then I get this idea to go to Brazil to get married, and when I come back, find a job on this kind of job.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I went to Brazil. I get married. I invest my money. Then we get married. We come back, and then I arrive on the house that we share. And I told the guys, now I look for a new job.
Yes.
I work in an office. And then everybody was laughing. They said, you are Brazilian, you are a woman, you must do cleaner or restaurants or caring jobs. This is for you. But then I find magazine, Brazilian magazine here in a coffee shop. And this magazine was like Brazilian people doing like different kind of real estate,
Yes.
selling cars
Yes.
and everything. So
Yes.
if they can do, I can
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
And if I can find a job with like a British company or something,
Yes.
I can start with
Yes.
the Brazilian company.
Yes.
And then I find this job.
Yes. Okay.
And then I started to work there was, 20 years ago, was in January 2006. And then just the company grows a lot. They open in Italy, they open in Switzerland, they open in Portugal, USA. And we had many employees, and I just grow with this company.
Yeah. And that's the company that sends money back to Brazil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I get in love with this. My passion is to send money to see people doing something they dream about when they come here. But in the same way, I see many people that they dream to come here to do something, to build some kind of different life. But when they get used to this life, they forget about these dreams or everything. And they just live like if they are living their own country.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
And not think about investing.
Yeah.
And it sounds to me like you had a natural pull towards sending money back home, but also you mentioned investing as well.
Yes.
I mean, who taught you to invest? Where did you get those ideas from?
Yeah, because when I think about invest, I was thinking because if I have 100 pounds, in Brazil is 700. So it's easier to invest, to buy a house, to buy. So in the first place, I thought like this. But now I see a big problem for immigrants. Because many of immigrants, they come here and they say, I will stay 2 years. So they don't pay proper tax. They don't pay for pension. And then they stay like 10, 20 years. And then they will think about this, about retirement.
Yeah.
So I see that with my clients every day. So this because you need to invest or here, or you need to pay a proper pension, or you need to pay a proper tax. Because unfortunately, immigrants, they always avoid to pay tax. So they always trying to find a way to avoid tax too much. But if you don't pay the proper tax, you can buy a house, you can buy the house, you can have a loan to maybe to do your business. So it's very important to keep this in mind if you want to stay here.
Interesting.
That's really interesting. Yeah. So you kind of mentioned obviously the community's vibe for you was okay. Go into finance. Stick to the usual kind of stuff. I'm just intrigued to kind of find out from you, how do you navigate some of those biases and challenges, even in the industry that you're based in?
I'm not afraid. So when my one friend that was living with me, after 3 months I was working in this company, the office, sending money, working as a cashier. She asked me a job. So I think people are afraid, and I'm not afraid because I say if you don't try, you don't know. So I always prefer to try something, And I think the most important thing is to be honest. So I always try to be honest. If sorry, my English, but I want to understand this. So you can explain to people that you want to learn, you want to improve, and people will help you, you know. Most people that encouraged me was like British people. So, because sometimes people that you are living with in your cycle, they don't want to, maybe they want to protect you, you know. But you need to go and live your life and follow your dreams. Because you know what you can do or you can do.
Stepping outside of your comfort zone. So right now you're a financial coach.
Yes.
And you support people around their finances.
Yes.
And I mean, how do you support people with that? Like, what is one of the main things that you do with people? What does that look like?
So the first thing is, you need to change your mind about money. Okay. Because when people think about money, they are always think to buy something. And you need to think about money as a way to change or to build something else, not just buying. And, if you go to TV or to internet, to Instagram, people are just selling things all the time, all showing you things, new things that arrive on the market, and miracle for everything. So for me, for example, I have some strategies for me. So you need to find some for you that will work for you. It's not the same way I do. You'll be the best way for Aneta. But you need first to understand yourself. For example, for me, it's very important to live very close to my job and to my children's school.
Okay.
Because if I have this piece of on my head, I work better.
Yes.
So everything for me is, so I know is 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here. So for me, it's very important.
Yeah.
So I know that I will pay a rent very expensive because I'm living in zone 2. So it's a rent. So it's something that I know because I choose and I have peace with this. I have a friend, he lives in Southampton. He drives almost every day to London.
Wow.
But for him, he preferred to have a big house, to live in this kind of countryside, to have this. For him, is very important. So you need to understand what is important to you.
Okay.
So you need to know what is your priority. Because it's like on diet. If you do a very restrictive diet, you do for 1 week, 2 weeks,
You
maybe.
put back the weight on.
Yeah. So it's the same with money. So you need to understand that you must have a balance. So you can be restrictive. You live in a bedroom, so I will save you £1,000 per month, and then, but this is not last forever.
Yeah.
So you need to have a good life. You need to see your priorities, and you need to understand your finance. Because if you don't understand what is important for you, how you can prioritize something? And sometimes people are living just day by day, and they are not think about this. So then what they do? They buy things. They just spend money.
Yeah.
They spend money because they are sad.
Yeah.
So they want some dopamine. So they
Yep.
buy something. The other day they are sad. Or if they do something very good, they are feeling happy, they want to reward themselves,
Spend some money.
spend some money. So always the money. I used to when I go to speaking for a woman, sometimes I say, who likes money? And people say, I like money. So why you don't have money in your pocket today? Why you just put the money away?
Always spending it, right?
Yeah, so you need to think. And if you have goals, for example, now I have a flat in Brazil that I'm decorating the flat.
Yes.
So I went to Brazil now to choose sofas and everything. So I have this goal. I have to finish decorating this flat. I'm doing that for nearly 2 years
Okay.
because I want to do on my way.
Yeah.
So when I go to the shopping and I see, like, I love bags. When I see a bag and then I think, but I need to buy a freezer.
Priorities.
So, you know,
Yeah.
no, but I want to buy that mirror. I want to buy.
Yeah.
So then you have your goals, it's easier. But if you just live day by day working and then paying bills and everything, it's difficult.
Yeah.
So you must set up your goals. You must have goals for like a month and then for 6 months and for a year. So you have to do this. But first you need to understand what is priority for you. So if a priority for you is going to the gym, you must pay the gym and go to the gym.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you will not last for a long time.
That's key message, key knowledge around financial goals and goal setting.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier about investments. So what's your advice as someone that's new to it? Like how to get started? How do you know what to invest in? Yeah, what advice would you give?
So the first,
Cryptocurrency.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry.
so the first thing you need to understand your financial, and then you need to set up a goal to have an emergency fund first of all.
Okay.
So because if you don't have this emergency fund, for example, I was driving other day. I went to some place, and then I have my tire just explode because I was like a stone or something. If I don't have a plan for this, I don't have a AA or I don't have a emergency plan,
Yeah.
this cost me £750
Wow. Okay.
because I need to pay someone to come and
Yeah, of
everything. So if you don't have an emergency fund and you start invest, the first emergency you have, your investments go away. And for investments is long term. So first step is to know your financial. So set up an emergency fund the specialists, they say the emergency fund must be for 3 months. I think it's very difficult in London. So at least 1 month, 1.5 months. So that money can cover all your expense if you have anything happen to you. Because even if you have insurance, the insurance you don't pay you so quickly. So you must have this emergency fund anyway. And then later, when you have this money should be not investing you, because you need to access this money easy. So maybe just a saving account or a ICE account, but some account that you can have access because it's for emergency. So you must have easy access for this money. When you have this emergency, then you can plan to start investing. Yeah, and then about investing, you need to understand yourself as well. Because, for example, you don't know nothing about investments, then you buy crypto. So there is no sense. I know many people that, for example, they owe a lot of money in credit cards, and they are investing in crypto. So I say, but crypto now is going, I earned £200 this week. Okay, but you are paying credit card. You know, and you know how credit card, they charge a lot of interest. So first of thing, you just need to quit these debts, and then emergency fund, and then invest. And then you start with a very secure fund, or if you are not paying for pension, go to a pension first, and then you go step by step. Because there is no miracle. People are always trying to find a miracle. Crypto is the solution now. And then everybody goes to the crypto. Yeah. Oh, this is the very good thing to do now. No, you know, it's like everything in life. Just keep simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So clear the credit cards first.
Yeah.
Let me see if I get it. Get an emergency fund, and then you invest.
Yes. And first you think on an investment like for pension if you don't have. Some people here, if he's employed, they have already. But if, for example, for self-employed, so must do something on this side. And then you start to think about other kinds of investments.
Think about secure investments. When you say secure investments, what do you mean?
Because you have it, when you go to invest, if you go for Vanguard platform, for example, they have a test. So you're going to do a test, and then you say if you have your appetite for risk is lower, moderate, or higher.
Okay.
Because you need to do something that you feel comfortable. So, for example, for me, it's moderate. So I have something very secure, and I have something that I can lose money, but I can earn money as well. But you have to study to understand a little bit. Because, for example, I met a woman one day in this kind of events that I speak for women, and she was married with a very wealthy man, and they get divorced, and she has some investments. And then she asked me if I can help her because she has a financial advisor who looks after her investments. But she doesn't know what to ask him, or she doesn't understand the terms he uses. So this is why I say money is not the solution. You first need to work your mind. Because if, as an immigrant, I have to come here, I have to understand the culture, how everything's, you know, the laws and everything. I need to speak English to live here.
Yes.
The money is the same thing. Why people don't want to study about money?
Learn about money.
That's so interesting. I'm just all like just absorbing all this information. And thank you, Anita, for the checklist and the summary because that helped me to kind of put it all together and process it. So, as in your role, what would be your key advice for anyone who wants to manage and be better at managing their finances?
For better, so it's like for example, if you are not doing good with your finance, you need to look after. So the first thing I wish to say is, if you are not feeling well, you go to the doctor.
Yes.
So if your finance is not going well or the way you deserve, you must look deep. So then you can have a person like me to help you, to guide you on this process. Or you can just try at least to print 3 months of statements. And you need to look. You need to find out what you're doing with your money.
Where is it going?
Yeah, where is it going? And what you can change. When you see, you're going to see that, you're going to see, for example, many ways that you can change your behavior of money. Because when you just touch your card or phone, you doesn't remember later. Or you don't know how much coffees did you bought this month. So you need to look after your statements, and you look to if you have a credit cards and everything. So you need to put this on a spreadsheet, on a notebook, everything you earn, everything you spend, and what are the holes. And sometimes people can find that they need an extra job. Because sometimes people are living in credit card, in overdraft, and they don't know. They just live. So first thing is first understand if you are living with your money or with the bank or credit card money. Yeah, so then later you can start to set up your goals.
Right.
So this is the first step. There's no other way. So what I used to say to women, say, prepare a tea, or if you like a wine, prepare a nice environment to do this. Because sometimes people get very scared to look after numbers. Sometimes they don't feel comfortable. So try to prepare the environment. And I think this is a kind of, you need to, for example, when you go to this beautician, you feel good because you are looking after yourself.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing about your money. You are looking after yourself. You're doing something good for you. But people don't usually look like this for their own money. I don't know why. Because I like to look my own money.
Yeah, because I think there was a time in the past where I would get anxious just to look at my bank statements. And I don't know if that was because I wasn't always good with maths and money. So, I mean, how do people overcome that? That, just being anxious about looking at your bank statements. How do you work through that?
At first, you're trying to, talk with this person and understand the background. Because sometimes people, for example, in Brazil, we say, I don't know if in English there's expression like this, but in Brazil, many people, my parents, they used to know, when you ask something to them, can I buy something? They say, money don't come from trees, or kinds like this.
Yeah.
So everything that you have in your mind block sometimes. So you need to understand this, and you try to work, this kind of self-confidence about money. But it's the same like with your health, Yeah, so you must understand that something good for you.
Self-confidence about money.
Yeah.
Changing that mindset. Okay, so I'm just kind of wanting to get advice around savings. So obviously we talked about investments, we talked about your own income
Savings
and so
account.
forth. I just wanted to kind of, what's your kind of advice around savings? Are you like looking at multiple savings accounts, having just the one? What would you say, would you suggest?
For a person who is starting to organize all the financials, is 2 or 3 accounts. Because if you can manage one, don't open 5 accounts. I see many people doing that. And on the radio, on my program on the radio, people say, I have 4 accounts. No, because if you need to keep simple. So one account, one current account, So when I did my event, Finance Talk Masterclass, a friend of mine, she worked for Halifax, and she went to the event and she talked about how the bank see your statement as a person that the bank will trust. So she gave advice, for example, on not to have many direct debits, but it's important to have some. But you have a lot of subscriptions. This show you have no control. So things that people say, oh, I don't care about this. But when you go to the bank to ask for a mortgage or for a loan, they will look after. So keep simple. So have one account to pay your bills, maybe another account just to subscriptions or something like that, and then your saving account, your ICE account, depending on what you're looking for. And you can have it account for the emergency fund if you want to keep it completely separate. I think it's a good idea to have this emergency fund in a different account, so you keep this card. Keep your card on your home. Don't take for the shopping.
Yes. Absolutely.
So this kind of strategy. If you are that kind of woman that go to the shopping and then you see sale and you go there, and what I tell you for my clients and then the show in the radio is don't take your cards with you. Go to the bank, to the cash machine, take like £50 just to have a lunch or just for emergency. Don't take your cards with you.
But now it's on your phone.
Yeah. This is the problem. But don't put all your cards on the phone. Just put one. Yeah. So maybe you can have this second account and you transfer the money to you just for that moment. You know, as you need. You need to find the strategies. There is no, as I said, there is no one thing that you do that change everything. You go step by step. But when you know what is your weak points, it's easier to manage. For example, for me, it's handbags. Yeah, I love handbags. So I know I don't want to buy, I don't want to spend anything. So I just avoid this kind of shop or things like that. It's like, when you are on diet, you need to avoid a place that is all sweet or everything. No?
Of course. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's interesting because a lot of us in the immigrant community grew up poor, grew up financially illiterate, and so sometimes struggle with debt because we just weren't taught, And I mean, what advice would you give to somebody struggling with debt or somebody who's not literate, like just not financially literate too?
I think if a person is on that stage, they must ask help. But the problem is people don't want to talk about money. So even if you have a different kind of problem, sometimes it's difficult to some people to ask for help. But with money, it's completely different because in general, people don't want to talk about their money. So I think we need to talk more about this to people make, because if you go, for example, to Brent Council, who have in Wisdom Library, they have like workshops about money. But I don't see people going there.
Yeah.
So there's many kinds of help you can have on this. For example, if you are paying too much interest in credit cards, you can call them in discount and ask for a pay holiday. So they give you a pay holiday. You can ask for balance freezing. So you just need to find out the proper information. And sometimes people are paying a lot of interest because they don't know they have the right to ask that.
Wow.
So, for example, if you go to that website, I think is Money Help, I think. So you can find a credit card that you can do balance transfer. So you have zero interest for a long time. So it's easier to you to pay the credit card. And sometimes people will stay like 2-3 years paying the interest. So I think especially in immigrant community, people don't go to the source of information. They just ask each other, and they stay always in that looping, of information. So if you go to the right place, you find help, you find, things that is easier to do, like balance transfer, asking for payment holidays, or just call and try to negotiate to pay less. So they are very open here in this country, I think, for the repayment. So you just need to, want to be open to ask for help.
Brilliant. That's helpful. Yes. Help. I'm asking you for help. That's lovely, Talita. So I just wanted to find out a bit more about Speed Up.
Speed Fast.
Oh, Speed Fast.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know where I got Speed Up from.
Yeah.
But yeah, can you explain a bit more about Speed Fast, please?
Yeah, so Speed Fast is an API, a payment institution. So we are regulated by the FCA, and we send money to 50 countries, especially for Brazilian community, because we are in branch, Brazilian communities there, and we are Brazilian. So, but we exchange money as well. Like if you want to buy euros, dollars, exchange currencies, we do that as well, and we send money. We send money in cash. You can go there to the shop and send money, or you can call to our call center. And then we have the mobile app as well. Yeah, so we... And 23 years already on the marketing.
Wow.
Yeah, so we used to have a shop here in Oxford Street.
Wow.
You remember Plaza Shopping? Now they changed, but it was just in front Plaza Shopping.
Okay.
Was above Vodafone. The Vodafone stayed there.
Yeah.
In the corner with Wardour Street.
Okay.
Oxford.
I know
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I worked there many years. I don't remember now. When I was pregnant from Julia. I used to work here.
Okay.
And that time, I started to buy a lot of things because I was in Oxford Street every
of
day.
course. You're spoiled for choice.
Yeah.
Literally.
So
Handbags.
no, everything sale. I arrive at home and I say to my husband, "Mas was on sale. It's closing down." He said, "Talita, all the year will be on sale. All the year will be closing down, and 10 years the shop is still there."
Oh no, there's change management or some sort. It's true. It's true.
And then so I learned. But it's really difficult to work on Oxford Street.
Yeah, of course. So many shows.
But because this is the problem with immigrant. Because in Brazil, many things are very expensive to buy, like clothes, even food. The difference, I think, the way is better in Brazil is to live, the house, the flats, because the government help you a lot to buy if you can afford. They help you. I know they have some program here, but it's I think it's more.
It's difficult.
It's difficult, yeah.
On the property level.
So this kind of thing in Brazil is better, but all the other things are very expensive. So when you arrive here and you start to earn money, it's cheap. So you want to buy, And this is why I think people, they forgot about the big dream or the big change they want in their lives. Because they have much more power to buy things like iPhone or TV or cars,
Clothes.
even cars, clothes, brands. And then they get, they forget about these big dreams, this big change, or about the future, the retirement, and then maybe they have son, daughter, so they are living. And then when you see 20 years, 25 years, and they are not prepared for the retirement.
Of course. I mean, there's about 3 questions in my head, but let me focus on one. Because you went from working at, is it Money Fast, Speed Fast, to owning it, right?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Wow.
So I was working in Speed Fast for 10 years. Exactly 10 years. And then my boss, he moved to Brazil. And that time I was in Brazil as well. I was pregnant, and because I went to Brazil because I had 2 miscarriages here. So I decided to go to Brazil. And then I get pregnant from Wednesday and I say, no, I give birth here. And then later I come back. In this meantime, my boss said, I will sell Speed Fast in UK because he has in many countries. And then I talked to a friend, he's going to sell the company. And a friend say to me, let's buy. And are you crazy?
Yeah.
How are we gonna buy? And then she said, no, we're gonna buy. And then I was in Curitiba. We went to Brasilia.
Yeah.
Me and my friend, she was from Goiás. It's far away.
Yeah.
And then we have a meeting with accountant to check how it's going to work. Then we come back to Curitiba. We spoke with our friend that was a client of us, so we get friendship because it was many years working together.
Yeah.
And then he said, no, we're gonna buy. This was August 2016.
Wow.
And then Enzo born on October. And then in January, I was here. So we bought the company.
Wow.
But my friend, that she was working with me, she came to London, but again, because she used to live here as well, but she didn't like anymore. So she went back to Brazil, and then I stay. And then I asked Juliano to come to work with me because she left. And then me and Juliano now, we are 10 years owners of the company. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story. From an employee to an owner.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Not easy,
Yeah.
but when you do something that you believe that make difference, I think for many people, because we have some clients that are our clients for 20 years or more, and you see many these online companies, people like 40 miles, 50, 40 plus, 50 plus, they don't are very good with this app and everything. So they go there, we help them. So this is a problem that I'm seeing here in London because banks are closing and we have many old people, they don't get used to these online things. And I don't know the future, but I think it's a big problem. For example, Wilson Green, we don't have more. HSBC is closed, NatWest is closed, Barclays is closed. So we don't have any bank. So you have in post office, they have a special schedule.
Yeah.
And one day Barclays go there, one day NatWest go there, and then you see many old people going there, staying in the queue for a long time. And even people come to my shop to ask help sometimes to withdraw cash or something,
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But this is a problem. I think it's a big problem we're going to face
Yeah.
in the coming years.
Absolutely. I'm going to change direction a little bit because I know we spoke a lot about finances, but there's more to you because you co-host the coffee break show as well.
Yeah.
And I want to hear more about that. So please.
Yeah, so Radio Mais Brasil UK is a Brazilian radio and is inside my company. So Neto Brasil, he's my friend. So when he had this idea to have this Brazilian radio, because the embassy say we have 300,000 Brazilians here, but this is the official number. It's a lot more. I think 500,000. So we have a big community, especially in Brent. And then he decided he has this idea and says, no, okay, I give you a space, I give you a room so you can set up the radio here. The radio will be 5 years in June.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he started just to come there sometimes to speak about my job, about Speed Fast and this kind of thing. Then sometimes, famous people, singers come from Brazil to the show. And so he, come here to participate with us. And then he said to me, no, come every Tuesday to do the show with me. And then I started to do the show with him, just interviewing people, but talking different subjects.
Yeah.
And then I told him, I don't want to go. I have more things to do. No, I don't want to go. Then Then they say, no, you need to do something. And I say, okay, so I will speak about finance.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then now I have like this space to speak once a week about finance.
Yeah.
So, and then people, they love, they ask. And then after the 1 year of finance talk in the radio, I did my event. It was sold out. People was like it because I did an event like a master class. So people had paper, they have like a proper, was like teaching something really, not just speaking. For example, we told you how to get a good credit score. How do you build a good credit score? So we told that step by step on the event. And it was not just me. So I bought someone from bank. I asked for a guy who work with insurance, different kind of insurance, to speak how the insurance can protect you financially as well. We had an accountant speaking about tax and pension. We had Neto Brasil speaking how the communication can help you financially as well. So was an event very, people are asking when is the next. I want to do a new one this year. But, many things to company, family, many things to do. And last year I had many speaking events as well. So, nice. But it's something that, for me is like a baby now. We speak about finance and this new, coaching thing, speakers, events. How I was in Switzerland, I love to participate. So I think it's good when you
can help.
Can help and you see people are changing. I have some people in radio, they say they change, they are doing better with finance. So it's really nice.
And we're on our last 3 minutes. I just want you to give one last bit of advice to people around finance. I think sometimes there's a role around faith and finance, because people growing up hearing that the love of money is the root of all evil. And sometimes people might think, if I'm always talking about money, does it mean I love money and then I'm not godly? So last word from you, Talita.
Yeah, this is a subject that is difficult sometimes to speak because this is culture, something about culture and about family. But I think money is like a car.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the car can take you in the comfort to somewhere you want to go. So money is the same thing. Money will make your life easier to go to the comfort. But you must drive your money, not your money driven your life. When you put money to drive your life, it's all about money, then it's a big problem. But in the Bible, I'm a Christian. In the Bible, in Switzerland, my speech about for the woman on Sunday was about the Bible. Jesus, he wants us to be we have prosperity in our home. So I don't know why money can be the evil. Because if you don't have money, how you go to church? How you make a difference in other people's life? How you gonna talk about Jesus? Because Jesus is he wants the good things for us. So money will give us the opportunity to have good things. And to make great and good things as well in his name. So I think if a person understands the Bible, he knows that everything you do, honest, working hard, is not easy. Even if you have money, life is not easy. Because it's not all about money. You have many famous people that they have a lot of money and they are unhappy. So it's not about money. It's how you deal with everything, and money is just one thing.
Thank you so much, Talita. And
thank you.
You know, we will put your contact details in the description so that people can get in touch with you and learn a lot more. And we appreciate having you so much today.
Yeah, we do.
And to our listeners, we say, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and
Subscribe.
That's a wrap.